Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Who's this?
Act like it is. Security code.
Okay. So, Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. Let's get on to this Rihanna thing. If you guys don't know, big news really popped out of LA. So it appears that Rihanna's Los Angeles home was attacked by a crazed stan. There's a woman that's accused of firing shots into Rihanna's Los Angeles home, and apparently she was actually previously involuntarily committed under Florida Baker Act law, and she lost custody of her 10-year-old child. Now her name is Ivana Lizette Ortiz. Apparently her ex-husband is saying that, hey, Ortiz was previously Baker Acted in Florida in 2023, meaning she was placed in a psychiatric facility against her will under state law. It permits a 72-hour involuntary or voluntary psychiatric hold. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard the story, but let me just explain in full. Rihanna's home was shot into allegedly over 10 times by a woman who pulled up and just fired a gun in the vicinity. She was later arrested and essentially held on a $10 million bond. The woman we now know who is the person who did it is not somebody who is a gangster or nothing like the sort. We know when it comes to LA, you got to worry about that. This is someone who seemingly is a crazed lunatic fan. Her name is Ivana Lizette Ortiz. As I said, she was previously Baker Acted, and her previous husband actually is speaking out about that because she did lose custody of her child. There's videos of her kind of going off the deep end, and I want to play you some of this.
Remember
okay?
what it feels like to be a little kid?
Let me mute this. By the way, if you guys are on Rumble, please get over to Kick immediately. I believe Rumble is about to get shut down, so please get over to Kick. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Okay. Now, okay, can we get... What do I have to watch this whole video? Jeez. Here we go. Yeah. So this is one of the videos supposedly she had a public YouTube channel where she was just talking about stuff. And, you know, this was a awakening call for me because there's a lot of like audience and fans that sometimes they'll, you know, I talk to fans a lot. I DM you guys, I respond to you guys, but sometimes I'll hear you guys, not most of you guys, but someone be like, oh, I got something in a dream, or tell Drake to do this and da-da-da-da, and I'm like, hey, relax, calm it down. You know, if you have an opinion about Drake and you've heard me have an opinion, we could just argue or debate, but then they'll kind of like, almost like, no, you have to tell Drake this, and then they'll tell me stuff about Drake, like me and Drake was connected in a different life. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop responding now. Like, this is odd. So anyway, the woman, and by the way, I'll give you a little bit more of an update. So she's held in $10 million bond after shooting. How did she get a gun? Where's she from? Like, we got to find this out. But they're saying the attorney for the woman, though, or the woman's ex-husband, tells TMZ she was Baker Acted in 2023. Let's watch one of these videos where supposedly she's not in her right mind.
No, Rihanna, no. You're not the eagle. They will soar high on wings like eagles. Rihanna wants to say that we are flying. That we are flying, and we're not. She's not flying. She had a bad day. She looks really stupid and corny. And everyone knows it. But the way that they want to, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, She's the one who wants to kill me.
What?
The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very grateful to you for your abundant graces. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future.
Okay. Batshit. Cuckoo. Wait, what?
And everyone knows it. But the way that they want to, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very grateful to you for your abundant graces. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this. What about my hands? What about these fingers over here? What about these 3 fingers? What about it? What about it? No, you're not here. You're rebuked. And even if you're here, there are many in this realm. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the king, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way out and perishing. It's embarrassing.
Wow. She's messaged or mentioned Rihanna again. Are you there? Because I was waiting for your AIDS 5-head self to say something to me directly, instead of sneaking around like you've been talking to me when I'm where I'm not at. So she believes she's in a. I'm getting like chills. Like, I'm gonna lie to you because I talk to a lot of fans. Like,
And 8052, shooting just occurred. Approximately 10 shots heard in an unknown person
oh, this is the 911 call of the shots.
shouting code 3 incident 1920 RD809, semi for additional.
8052, incident 1921. All units 8020 responding closely from Santa Monica and Sonar to.
Doctor, you can show us back.
8052, Roger. Other unit with the message repeat.
81 shows back from the station.
All units 81 backing from the station to.
Fourth delay units at 8028, 8028 additional. Your shooting just occurred. The PR believes the shots came from across the street of the upper gate. The PR does not have visual. No further. It's additional 1921. Fourth delay unit, shooting just occurred. This vehicle is a white Tesla, SE northbound on Coldwater. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle at the gate. Code 3, incident 1932, RD809.
Air 10, can you find out the make of that Tesla? I'm sorry, the model.
Ayrton, somebody.
CBR, you still on the line? Number 2, passenger. For the description, the passenger was firing a gun. Additional on incident 1932.
Here you go, the model of the car.
Philadelphia 6, Roger. Forceful units responding, shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle was a 2023 to 2024 Tesla 4-door with paper license plate, unknown model. Additional incident 1932. At 853, the suspect vehicle was last seen going southbound on Coldwater Canyon. Stand by, the peers attempting to check the camera footage for a license plate.
85, show us code 100 on Sunset and Coldwater.
8053, repeat your cross to Coldwater.
Sunset.
All units 8052, code 100, Sunset, Coldwater.
Beverly Hills notified. 81, was there a license plate number on the Tesla?
CBR, are you still on the line?
Stand by, the peers.
Now, this is from Broadcastify, which is a it's a police scanner and like network that once they identify it has something to do with something of public interest, they'll kind of like get everything in that particular realm. So you can see it here. It says broadcastify. They basically try to get every emergency unit like call or radio over the airwaves about this thing, and look like this is a huge deal.
There's attempting to look at the camera footage of the license plate.
All units, addition on the shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle is at scene, Coldwater Canyon. Addition on incident 1921.
02, it's going to be a Tesla Model 3, white in color. Stand by for the plate.
Airtain will copy. We're in the area.
Everything's in the area.
AT to confirm it was southbound Coldwater. 7834, Roger.
All units, addition on the shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle is a white Tesla Model 3, license plate David Paul 38 Edward 1, David Paul 38 Edward 1, lastly northbound from 1200 block of Demented Canyon.
AZ1, that's just a possible.
Search impossible. Temporary plate David Paul 38 Edward 1, David Paul 38 Edward 1.
859. I just spoke to the primary and it's going to be a verified. That's the plate and the vehicle traveling on Benedict northbound.
Okay, friend, Roger.
Wow. So the idea is that a woman pulls up, she fires a bunch of shots aimed at Rihanna's house in LA. Out of sensitivity for the story, I won't mention anywhere she's other than here that she's rumored to have laid her head, because this is scary. This is just flat out scary that someone is, having this one-sided relationship or thought or issue or whatever with Rihanna, and Rihanna has multiple kids, I don't want to comment whether or not Rihanna was at this particular residence, but for that to happen is a wake-up call. This idea of fandom and stanhood of, we kind of have to remember, like, even way back in the day, I believe, what's the entertainer from Mexico? Was it Mexico? Was it Selena? I forgot. She was basically killed by a fan as well. So it's like, again, as much as people love their supporters, and maybe this is probably the wrong way to kind of like, try to categorize this person that was operating out of like, obsession with Rihanna. It's concerning. Really concerning. Now you heard the pretty much kind of the dispatch call, but also like the police radio in the area. But the person was arrested and booked for attempted murder.
4 West northbound on Coldwater. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle at the gate code 3. Incident 1932 RD 809.
Now there's a few other. Let me see if I can go to YouTube. We're gonna just call this person Stalker. Oh wow.
Throw array of, what is it? Array of force at me to push me down. I don't want you, and you don't go there. And you know what? God's judgment is going to be overwhelming against you when he grabs you and throws you down. I've already seen it. You saw Rihanna. You saw her picture. She has a very big forehead and an ugly, ugly nose. That's God's judgment on her. I keep telling her to stop harassing me. To stop harassing me. And she keeps doing it. She keeps harassing me. And I already bought stock in Ulta. And I have staked in Ulta. So now those energies can't harass me when I go into Ulta anymore. When I go into Ulta, the devil tries to antagonize me or instigate against me by the pictures that are there. But you know what? I bought steak in there, and I said, forget you. This is mine too. This is mine too. You're not going to be throwing bad energy at me when I'm coming to the store. So I went and I bought stock. And then when I went in there, I saw Rihanna. She looked so bad.
The interesting part about this is that we're not talking about some young girl who's just always been out of it. Apparently, this is a mother. She's a mother.
That's the judgment of God. And I thank God for that. So just the way God did that judgment, the same energy, the same devil that is trying to be around me and make my area uncomfortable, God is going to catch.
Wow, interesting. You know, you can never take things for granted. When it comes to this, is like someone like John Lennon got killed by a fan, I believe. So you always gotta. Okay, so apparently she got arrested in 2023. She was 33 at that time. And let's watch this. Oh, ironically, somebody says Rick Ross ran to a fan who'd been stalking him for over 3 years. He declined to find a restraining order on her. Yeah, this is probably not the norm.
Put me on your story like this. Like this was one time, like a few months ago.
Can you be honest to everyone in my story?
Yes.
How long have you been stalking me? Please be honest.
No, like not that long.
How long?
Years. Just like sorry, Mr. Ross. I would
3
never
years.
stalk you. Okay,
You're
like
amazing. You're
it's
amazing.
like 6 months.
No, it's 3 years.
Okay, you're right.
It's getting scary. Exclusive. Rihanna shooting suspect is a Bible influencer who made a twisted threat to a singer just days before an AR-15 style rifle attack on her LA mansion. What the fuck? No way. Hold on to you.
Multiple bullet holes are clearly visible in the front gate leading to Rihanna's home in Los Angeles.
Oh, no.
Approximately 10 shots heard and an unknown person shouting.
It happened Sunday afternoon. Police say 35-year-old Ivana Ortiz from Florida opened fire with an AR-15 style assault rifle and fled.
Well, I was just washing dishes in my house and I heard shots and I was a little shocked.
Police spotted the suspect's car from the air.
This vehicle's a white Tesla, SE northbound.
They tracked it to a nearby shopping mall where they took Ortiz into custody, booked her on attempted murder, and set bail at more than $10 million. There. In 2018, Ortiz was booked for domestic violence in Florida in 2023. More recently, she sought an injunction to block a Billie Eilish concert in Orlando.
Hey, this is so crazy. I ain't gonna lie, and I low key want to issue an apology to Cardi B. Me and Cardi B was talking recently, and Cardi B was telling me how much money she spends on just people just being outside of her because she. So the idea was, remember this whole Cardi B she was saying how much she spent on certain stuff. So I was kind of approaching this conversation. This is a private conversation, but I'll let you into. I don't think she'll be upset if I say this, And my whole thing, even back then, because that was a public thing where she was like, it costs a lot to live like her. And I was just like, so when she's telling me like how much, she was like, hey, I got to spend this amount to keep people, at my gate. And it's not just for like people who might not like me. It might be for like people who are just overzealous and just like, I have kids, this and third. And I was thinking like, yo, Cardi, that's a wild amount of money you're spending. And I was trying to say, like, hey, you don't got to do all that. And I ain't going to lie to you, I want to apologize to her. I'm going to tell you why. Because this is exactly what she's paying for. Because when she was explaining it to me, I was like, yo, nobody's going to, like, I get it. There's a bunch of, like, weirdo fans online, but they're not going to pop up to your, like, I ain't going to lie to you. I'm gonna tell y'all might be my audience or whatever. I know y'all ain't like that. Y'all pop into my crib. I ain't with that with y'all niggas. Y'all niggas is like, I might as well be Meek Miller or Lil Baby popping up to my crib, nigga. Ain't none of that. Ain't no pictures, no none of that. But when she told me how much money she was spending, I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I gotta do that. And I was just like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, I think you're wasting your money. Now seeing this, I'm like, no, she wasn't. Like, she's actually pretty smart. Not only for her own health, but like, she got kids. She gotta do this. Bro, to think that some of y'all, I don't want to say y'all because it's not you guys. There's just some lunatics who actually think this is a legit way to how to try to get close to their, people they like, or they think some people are in parasocial relationships that think that these celebrities or artists are responding directly to them, so they have this ongoing beef. That's insane.
Investigators are back out here now going through the scene. It does appear that some of the bullets went through the gate and into an Airstream trailer in the driveway, also an outside wall of the home, but no injuries were reported. Tony?
God, this is crazy. She was also suing Live Nation? What?
You can't.
Oh, apparently the same woman wanted Cardi B out of here too. Yo, Cardi B, I apologize to you, Shorty. Because when you said that, I was just like, my whole thing when I was, just like, friendly, just talking to Cardi. I said, Cardi, you don't need to spend that much money. You don't need to spend that much money. I get it. Like, you live a great life and your kids live a great life, but y'all are like super. And she was like, well, certain things I can't avoid. And she was like, security. But it was security just on some like, just out of respect, I don't want to get too much into it, but it was certain shit with security. And I was like, you don't need that. This is exactly what that would have prevented.
You can't fuck with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now. But you know who has the cutest outfit tonight? You know who's the cutest tonight? I am. You ain't doing nothing to me. Ain't nobody pressed. Ivana's not pressed. Is Cardi B pressed? Shardy B? Yeah, I was just in San Francisco last week. Actually, this week. No one wanted me to go to what Cardi B had going on. I wonder why. Ooh, I wonder why.
When Drake finds out Rihanna has AIDS? What? So apparently this man did, oh no, that's old. This is ridiculous, bro.
No. You're not.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked by this, but I'm frightened for the artists themselves. I'm like, I feel we've been getting off with a lot of lucky shit recently. There's gonna be a lunatic like this to cause some real tragedy, and I hope we take precaution. Holy shit. So they're saying Rihanna left LA after the shooting, but they can't confirm if she was at the house. Sorry for this. My mic is low? Oh, sorry. Wait, my mic is low? I'm good? Am I good, chat? It was static? I can see the static hole. Okay. Am I good? Am I good? Should be good now, right? All right. I hope I'm good. I don't know. There's still static? Can't tell if y'all trolling me, but okay. All right. So Rihanna's dipping out. Oh my God. I wonder what Rocky thinks about this bullshit. Like, damn. Rihanna shots.
Shooting just occurred. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle.
The
shots came from across the street.
Extra has learned Rihanna was inside the 7,600 square foot home in the hills above Beverly
Oh, she was inside. Wow.
Hills just after 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, but was not hurt. The shooting sparking a massive police response to the area. 30-year-old Ivana Ortiz, who has been identified in multiple reports as this woman seen on her Facebook page, allegedly fired the shots from an AR-style rifle, then sped away in a Tesla. A chopper pilot describing the moment she was captured.
They're approaching the vehicle now.
Her bail is set at more than $10 million. So what could possibly have been the motive behind the shooting?
She apparently had a vendetta against her and then took it out on her Sunday afternoon.
We spoke with Daily Mail senior correspondent Kayla Brantley.
On February 23rd, she took to Facebook to share a message directly targeting Rihanna. She captioned the photo, "Because I was waiting for you to say something directly instead of sneaking around."
The site has also uncovered Ortiz's criminal past. She had been arrested in 2023 on domestic violence charges. As of our deadline, we do not know the outcome of those cases.
Hi, I'm Ivana, and I am reading poems from Bright Poems for Dark Days.
Ivana also has this YouTube page where she offers prayers and reads poetry.
Tomorrow will be beautiful, for tomorrow comes out of the lake.
But right around the same time she allegedly threatened Rihanna, she also posted this to Facebook.
You can't with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now.
It is in direct contrast, everything you see on her YouTube page as this woman of God, and then you go on her Facebook and suddenly it's just filled with hate.
As for Sunday's incident, it's not clear whether Rihanna's partner ASAP Rocky and their 3 kids, Rizza, Riot Rose, and 5-month-old Rocky were inside.
Oh, the babies are amazing.
They had just gushed over their little ones with Extra.
They're all getting bigger, and I cannot take it.
I'm surprised that the older two getting along as much as they are, you know? Happy family. Thank you.
This isn't the first incident at the Disturbia singer's home.
It's a thief in the night to come and grab you.
Back in 2018, someone broke into the mansion and was inside for about 12 hours until he was discovered by her assistant. Later that year, burglars made off with unspecified items, part of a celebrity crime ring that was later busted by cops. As of our deadline,
my bad. Nah, I'm trying to get rid of the static. That's why I've been tripping. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just say this. Yo, Rocky, I'm going to put this on you a little bit. Pause. My nigga, at the end of the day, your girl's safety, she got a lot of money. You got a lot of money too. I don't care who's paying for it. Y'all should have 24 hours a day security around all the houses y'all frequent with y'all kids. If this y'all main LA house, there should be 24-hour security. It shouldn't be like a goddamn assistant figuring this out. Whether it was somebody who was in the property or on the premises for 12 hours, like, nah, like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, you dating one of those. You know, when you get to a certain level of fame, it's most likely a crazed fan than an op that's going to really try to do it to y'all. That's a fact. Go look at, like, you know, even Princess Diana's like, shit, it was her fame and people's clamoring for her so much that kind of really led to even her demise. It's like, you got to take this shit serious, man. So, you know, I think Rocky's a good boyfriend, a good husband. I think he's a good father. So I know I hope he takes this personal. I think he will. Man, y'all should have a full-on security team. I see people that one got half what y'all got. Not even a quarter, not even a tenth. They got this, like, y'all got to get on y'all game, man. Y'all literally got to get on y'all game. So I'm just going to think this is an oversight, but this is scary.
No motive for the shooting had been revealed.
Yeah, nah, this is bananas. This is what Harvey had to say about it.
A just shocking, scary moment for Rihanna on Sunday when somebody drove by her house, stopped, and fired 10 rounds inside, and she was there with her children.
With a rifle, by the way, firing with an assault rifle type of weapon, according to law enforcement sources, and that person is now in police custody, by the way, charged with attempted murder, or booked for attempted murder.
Which
at this
clearly
point.
is.
Yes, a 35-year-old woman who, the bizarre thing, I mean, drives up to Rihanna's house, and a house.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you how the law sucks. That attempted murder charge ain't going to stick. That's the thing. So attempted murder is like your actions really determine that you were trying to kill somebody because she most likely didn't know nobody was going to be there. She has no other intel. Like, yeah, she could have hoped that somebody died, but if she didn't have any credible evidence that someone's going to be there, that she could really have an attempt on someone's life and she just randomly shot in the building, it's not going to be an attempted murder, unfortunately.
By the way, that she's had a lot of issues with people showing up there, but this person opens fire multiple times.
No, I see some people actually. And by the way, hey, if you're on YouTube, start coming over to Kick, please. Please start coming over to Kick. But let me explain to y'all. So attempted murder, it's a really high statute that really carries usually 30 to life. This woman, unfortunately, because of her mental status, she's gonna be out in like less than 10 years. Why? You have to prove that she set out to try to murder someone, that she had credible information. And I know it's stupid, so I'm not defending her. But if someone randomly shoots into a building, that's not enough to substantiate a attempted murder charge. It has to show some type of plan, some type of execution, and some type of knowledge, and just not a random hunch that you are trying to get someone killed. And that's where I think is going to lack the info that's going to need for this person to be charged with attempted murder.
With this rifle, thankfully, nobody in the home was injured.
And what's crazy? Nah, the videos won't make it premeditated. Premeditated is going to be her saying, I'm going to go do this. at a certain time. Not I don't like somebody. Her saying she doesn't like someone is going to be freedom of speech. It's not going to be premeditated murder. When you think about, first degree murder, which is usually premeditated or cold murder in cold blood, it's usually saying, yo, I'm about to pull up on this nigga and I'm gonna press him on this, and if he not whatever, nigga, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Or, yo, let's pull up at this location, and then we're gonna shoot him. That's premeditated.
Crazy about this whole thing is the woman that was arrested, they've now released her name to the public, and we've done some background digging on her. She has a past with law enforcement. She's been arrested for domestic violence, careless driving. Her current addresses show that she lives in the Orlando, Florida area. So there's nothing.
Yo, chat, I'm not like trying to be a lawyer. I'm telling you what this reality is. Like, again, I would, I'll run this by, all the lawyers that come on here. It's just that it's a reason why you see people get off with like easy charges or whatever. You'll be lit if, you're cooked. But because of these things that carry so many different terms, you have to categorize it by the letter of the book. Okay? By the way, somebody said ask Myron. Oh, we'll do that. By the way, everybody, start coming over to Rumble, please. Myron works in law enforcement, but I'm telling you, listen, the idea with first degree murder is going to be cold-blooded murder, premeditated, right? Attempts follow the actual action, even if it wasn't successful. If you attempted, it just means you were unsuccessful. But a lot of times in certain places, for example, New Jersey, if you attempt a murder, they'll almost start to give you murder time. Basically, they're saying, we're not going to soften up because you failed. And that's what it is,
Her
to
here.
LA.
So it makes you wonder, did she get on a plane and come here, or did she drive this car that she was in front of the house?
Okay, so I hope you guys get what I'm saying. My only point when it comes to this, whole situation is that they're looking at the whole situation as Rihanna, is a shooting at Rihanna's house. And yes, she might not like Rihanna, but unless there's the video that says, I'm going to Rihanna's house to kill her, you still, like, she could make a million videos saying, I don't like Rihanna. What aggressive or threatening nature has she ever said, I'm going to go kill Rihanna? That's going to be the thing. And I know you're going to be like, yo, nah. Unfortunately, that's why people are trying to change these laws.
From Florida. Her addresses are in Florida, in the Orlando area.
So Rihanna has had problems not just at this house, but I remember
previous home also that she moved out of because of
a house in
multiple
Pacific
burglaries.
In Pacific Palisades, multiple burglaries, stalkers. I mean, this is, she kind of embodies the conundrum of being a big celebrity, where there are, both unstable people and people who are trying to score a quick payday. Where they are just targets. And, this was LAPD, and, there is a special unit there for, people, who are stalkers, and where a celebrity can go to this high-profile unit. But they will tell you at this high-profile unit that they can only do so much.
Right.
That
if someone is mentally unstable, yes, they can try to stop, but you just...
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the legal system takes the approach of, well, they have rights too. So a family member could get them Baker Acted. So a family member, a loved one, a spouse, someone like that could be like, hey, this person's not acting right. They might hurt themselves or hurt someone else. At that point, it could be a situation where they call the cops, they let the cops know that. The Baker Acting process is that they're going to evaluate the person on scene, and then they will do an involuntary hold if they feel like the issue is mental in nature. Now, they won't do involuntary hold if they feel like, oh, no, it's not that they're out of it. It's like yeah, they're out of it, but they're drunk. They're not going to do that hold. They have to feel like this person's losing it. That's the problem, right? A lot of times when it comes to law enforcement, they're trying to resolve issues, move on to the next situation. They're not really looking at, oh, okay, there's a real problem here. And if we don't fix it, someone's going to end up hurt severely or die. And that's the problem.
You can't predict
What do you do?
what someone like that is going to do.
You get a restraining order, and these are the people who are least likely to obey a restraining order.
Right.
So, you get a restraining order, and they go back and they do exactly what they've done before, and we see that over and over and over again. You talk about, putting somebody under an involuntary psychiatric hold.
That
72
only-
hours.
right.
It's a
And that's
revolving
over.
door.
Right.
And even if they're convicted of, trespassing or stalking, the way the jails are, especially in LA, they're so overcrowded that, you will spend maybe 6 months, more likely 3 days.
I don't see, I mean, look, we're in this just happened 24 hours ago.
Okay. All right, chat, real quick. And I know y'all going to hate me for this, but please, I love y'all. I do love y'all. I need everybody over the kick, and because I do have a story. I have a story to tell. It ain't gonna make me look the best, but I do want to be honest about something when it comes to a stalker. I gotta look if the stalker still exists, because I feel bad. I kind of feel bad. All right, I kind of feel bad. Chat, everybody, kick.com/academics. Please let me go grab a Red Bull. I'm right out there with it. But kick.com/academics. Give me a second. All right. Now, I got to be vague a bit. Because there was a actual moment that I actually start realizing that some of the stalking shit was like serious. Because when I came in like the industry and everything, and I'm like, I speak to fans consistently. Like, fans will tell me, oh, well, this happened. So me speaking to fans is like, I can't be the guy who will be like, no, I don't talk to fans. Hey, it's a fan who told me, yo, this was going on in Little Dirk's neighborhood. It's a fan who told me, hey, listen, I was just at this club and that's what happened. So I speak to fans a lot. And 99% of the fans are usually fine. Now, I got to be honest. So one of the times there's this fan, it wasn't a fan of mine, but this person convinced me. Not convinced me, but like they told me the story like, yo, hey, listen, this artist, like me and them, I was their girlfriend. This is a real thing. They told me they were their girlfriend, and I was like, okay, all right, what are you talking about? And they're like, not only was I this person's girlfriend, I got cut off. And I was like, why? They were like, well, I ended up fucking their homeboy. This is the weirdest shit ever. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I was just like, wait, what? So their whole idea was that they meet this artist, they're in love with him. That's their boyfriend in their mind. This person's like, like the third removed guy who helps him out with some shit, probably encounters this person and they're like fucking desperate for whatever. I guess they sleep together. And this person now has this demented view saying, oh, the reason why this guy who I'm obsessed with don't want to rock with me no more is because I did that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't know people were that obsessive. So when people said, oh no, I've met this guy before, because the person, I know the person that much, I believed it. So this person like, oh no, I met this person before. Oh no, there's only acting like that because I fucked up and I did some shit. And come to find out, none of that happened. Like, they literally created the entire scenario I actually believed it happened until everything and everyone pointed me at the actual facts to say this person never did anything. This is all make-believe. And that's when I get to realize people like what we're talking about. They have zero idea what's going on. They just literally are obsessed antagonists and just like protagonists for whatever the bullshit they got going on. And I don't know, man. Anyway.
But if this becomes a situation where there's a plea deal accepted for...
By the way, hey, everybody get over the kick. We're cutting YouTube less than a minute. I'm not going to lie.
One of those lesser charges you talked about, where someone gets out.
They're in and out.
But attempted murder is a very serious charge.
That's true.
And if they end up going forward and sticking to that as the charge, and this person is convicted of that, then you don't have the revolving door.
You're right. You're right. But the act itself is escalated to such a level that somebody could have died in that house.
Right.
Rihanna or her kids. So it has to reach that level for something to be handled in a way that can take somebody off the streets for any lengthy period of time.
The new DA is not going to be one, I would think, to talk about a plea deal here.
No, I agree.
I just spoke to someone close to both of them, and I said, we've got to assume they're going to move now, that they're going to immediately put this house in the market, or they're at least not going to live in it anymore.
Right.
It's not even in a gated community. You can access, like this woman,
Yeah.
you can most celebrities, they live behind a gated community that's protected by security.
Yeah.
This, you can drive right up and, you're outside
What
their
did they say
gate.
about moving?
And they said, oh, I don't think they've gotten there yet. And I said, oh my gosh, they have to know
the reality
at this
is she
point
has,
that they're not
they
going to
have
go
other
back.
homes,
Right,
and they
of
don't have
course.
to stay here.
Right.
But it would seem like you wouldn't want to
They're gonna
after
move,
something like that happening.
Well, again, she is used to people violating the law to get at her or get at her things.
This is the first time, though, that I think certainly...
Yeah, it feels like female entertainers are like they're used to it a little bit more. I think with guys, like we're like, yo, you try to do some bullshit, we think you're trying to kill us and we might have to do it to you. So I don't think people try male entertainers as much.
This level of crime has happened since they have 3 kids now. They have 3 young children at home.
It changes
and
the
that
game.
changes the calculus, I think.
Hi, I'm Zaji Jones from Jacksonville, Florida. First, I want to give my prayers to Rihanna. That is so scary and so nerve-wracking. I hope that she moves to the islands and releases the album and gives us a diss track with Miss Dirty Tesla. And I hope that they lock her behind up because that is insane. If anything happened to her or kids, that would have started an actual riot and uproar.
I love that. Where your head went to new music.
New music, right. In your list of demands, yes,
Right.
I want her to be safe. I want her to be happy. Also, get the new music
I
in.
think that music was one or
second.
two on her
It
list.
was second. Move to the islands and drop new music.
Okay. All right. Okay. Whoa. Stop. Yeah, no, I mean, scary times. Scary times. And I'm glad that obviously she's alive and nothing too crazy happened, but we got to think about that. Okay. Let's